Have you ever sat down and wrote out what you want your life to look like to the point of every single area? How you want your health to look like? What does that feel like? What does that look like? How do you want to create income? What does that look like? What does that feel like? How do you want to live your day to day? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What skills, value can you provide? And you might be sat there thinking, oh, I don't know. I don't really have any skills or knowledge or value. You definitely have something that somebody else needs. And taking the time to sit with these questions, taking the time to sit with actually figuring out what it is you want, what you want your day to day to look like, is almost the first step, because once you have that understanding, you can then reverse engineer where you want to be to where you are now, and it's easier to put the steps in place. If you don't know where you want to be and you're just going after, not really sure, you're just jumping on board things here, there and everywhere because you think it's going to fix the problem that you're not quite sure you want to solve, or how to solve it, or what is the thing that's going to solve it, then you're almost wasting time and energy. Whereas if you have an idea of exactly how, like, think about it. How do you want to wake up in the morning? Where do you want to wake up in the morning? How do you want to feel when you wake up in the morning? Because I remember how I used to wake up in the morning and how I used to feel. I used to wake up straight onto the phone, straight into stress, straight into chaos, anxiety, overload, overwhelm, and then that would go throughout my whole day. And then get to the end of the day, back again, next day. I didn't want to wake up like that. I don't want to feel like that during my day. And it wasn't until I stopped and paused and actually understood that I was running this constant loop, and it wasn't a loop that I wanted to be on, even though the external was successful, the internal was definitely not. And when you can flip that round and start to look at, actually, what does internal success look like? How does that feel? And forget the external for a second, because the external comes naturally once the internal is in that flow state, is in that vibration, is in that frequency. So think about it. How do you want to feel in the mornings when you wake up? Where do you want to be? What do you want to be surrounded by? Down to the details. Like when I first did my first one, I wrote out exactly how I wanted to wake up, where I wanted to be, the activities I wanted to be doing, how I felt in my body, how really got into that space of that person, that lifestyle that I wanted to be living. And it wasn't anything to do with the external, it was all to do with the internal, of the feeling. Yes, there was images of external where I was, etc. But all of the thinking and the feeling come from how that person would feel, how that person would be acting. Once you have that understanding, it's so much easier to link where you are right now and the actions that need to take place to get to that feeling, that lifestyle that you have just envisioned. To take some time, grab a pen and paper, really sit with how you want to feel, what actions you take on a daily basis, the lifestyle you are living, leading, the value you are providing. Really sit down and think about it, because once you have that, once you start taking action steps towards that, and all of a sudden you arrive, you've just created that. You've just stepped into your dream life. And it was all from just sitting down with a piece of paper and a pen and getting clear on what it is you want. And don't get me wrong, as you go on the journey, those things that you want will naturally change because you will grow and evolve and understand on a deeper level more and more what it is you want through going on that journey. So go grab that pen and paper, write it down, start taking action. If you need any help with that, links in the bio. Go change your life.